Hey everybody, welcome back to Autumn Leigh at Home. I'm Autumn Leigh if you're new. Today we're going to do a large closet clean out. As you can see, we have a lot of clothes. It is that time. I need to go through. If you're a mom or you have kids in the house, you fully understand that every once in a while you need to go through and pull out the clothes that are holiday clothes, clothes that are too small, maybe seasonal clothes, whatever it may be. And it's that time. I need to go through all of my clothes. I'm going to give myself 3 goals. One is to sort, the next one is to organize, and the third one is to get rid of. So follow along with me and we will go ahead and get started. If you are new to this channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below. I am so glad that you have joined us today. Today, I am hoping to reorganize, declutter, and clean out this closet for my girls. It is that time of year. Normally, I clean out and reorganize and do all of those things about 2 to 4 times a year, depending on how quickly they go through sizes. And right now, my one daughter totally skipped a size. And so I was just kind of stuffing everything in the corner that she sized out of really quickly. And now I need to go through and reorganize it. When you get started and you're looking at the huge mountains of clothes, both in the bins, on the floor, or even hanging, sometimes it can be super overwhelming. So I like to give myself goals. And my first goal is to sort. Right now, I am sorting through and looking at each item, see what size it is, and I'm trying to sort them by sizes. So I'm putting all my 7s and 8s in a bin and my 10s in a separate pile that I will eventually place in a bin or in a pile somewhere as well. This allows me to see what all I'm working with, what sizes, how much of what size do I have, what items do I want to then pass on to my next daughter who is next in line, the youngest one that you see me holding here now, and she will be eventually getting all of these clothes. She's currently in a size 6, so I am also going through her clothes next. These were the bin that this bin that you're currently seeing me go through was in the corner of the closet, and anytime I had an item that I pulled and was going to put on my daughter and it was too small, I went ahead and stuck it in that pile. And that way I didn't have to worry about it at the time, and I wouldn't keep having to grab it or go through it trying to find another piece of clothing or forget that I even realized it was too small and reach for it again. This was my way of just being like, oh, it's too small, let me throw it right here, I'll deal with it later. Well, later is now, and now we are trying to go through and sort sizes to make sure that I can organize them in a way that then I can pass on to my next daughter and know exactly what I have. So as I'm sorting, I'm going through to see, is this an item that we actually wore? Did we ever wear it? How often did we wear it? Do I even like it? Does she need it? Those are all questions I'm asking myself. I finally got this whole pile and this bin gone through, and as you can tell, my daughter we stayed in size 7 and 8 for my oldest daughter for a while, as you can tell, and this is all we have for size 10 right now. Now, I haven't gone through her drawers and closet yet, but she's in a size 12 now, and she definitely skipped size 10. When she had her growth spurt, you can tell that we did not stay in a size 10 very long at all. I think we pretty much went from size 8 straight to size 12. And so we have a lot of this, and I'm tempted to separate it, but it's really hard because size 7 and 8 are, a lot of times the sizes are like 7/8. I do have a couple of just 7s and a couple of just 8s, but really I just lumped them all together because a lot of times I find that my daughters can fit in some size 8s or 7/8s too. So I'd rather just pull them all out at the same time. Whereas a size 10 is totally separate. We did not have many size 10. So I'm going to go through the drawers and closet now and see if we have more, but this is going to be a separate bin. Whenever my youngest daughter, who is in a size 6 right now, when she sizes up, I will have to reorganize and pull all of this back out. But for now, we're going to tuck it away in a bin. And if I need to, I might separate. If this is all I have of size 10, then I may put this just in a pile by itself in the closet, up in the top maybe. And then I'll separate these two into 2 bins and just have 2 bins of the 7/8. We're at a good stopping point because I went through those bins. The next stop is going to be going through the drawers and the dresser as well as the closet. But for now, because we're at a good stopping spot, we are going to break for lunch, and I will be back soon. Back for my lunch break, and now it's time to tackle this. Wish me luck.
As you go through and we organize and declutter together, you may notice that my younger daughter has a lot more clothes than my older daughter. There are multiple reasons for this. One being that because she's the younger one, she gets all the hand-me-downs, and then of course sometimes you end up buying more seasonal stuff that fits appropriate to that season or to match the older daughter or whatever the case may be. And so she ends up with a lot more clothes. With this, I have learned that the more clothes you have, the more you put off washing the dirty clothes and the more there is to wash, fold, and then put away. It also makes it a lot harder to find certain items you are looking for to match outfits. So, like if I'm looking for a specific item, like a shirt, I'm having to dig through all the other clothes to find it. And when you have less clothes, it's not as hard to find those items. I've found it's better to have fewer solid outfits and certain things for different occasions, and it makes it so much more manageable.
I think a lot of what I had in here were just extra hangers like these right here. And I do want to leave some extra because I know there's still some clothes in the wash that need to be washed and hung up. And so, but that opened up a lot more room. And I have all of the seasonal stuff that's more like winter, fall / Halloween, Christmas. I don't think I have anything Christmas right now, or except maybe that. But I have all of that over here, and then everything else is this season, which is good. And then I did leave a few extra hangers. There's some dress-up clothes that still fit. And down here, these are all the hangers I'm getting rid of because we just don't need that many. I think because my older daughter switched to like these larger hangers, once you get to about size 7, you kind of need the larger ones. And she's in a size 12, she's in a size 6, so she will be switching to the larger ones soon, but not quite yet. So we're gonna utilize these for a little bit longer, and then we'll plan to get rid of all of them and change them out. But now this is the pile right here of clothes out of her side that we are planning to get rid of. This side, I have hers pretty much for the most part organized and finished. Now it's time for my older daughter's side, and she doesn't have quite as much that I need to go through. There are a few things that I know are too small or things that she just won't wear. So like this right, for example, is a size 8. She's in a size 12. That needs to go back into that other 7-8 bin that I have down there. And then I will organize a little bit more. Again, I know there's some clothing items that are in the wash or need to be folded and hung, and there's quite a few of those, so I need to get to that next. But I know all of those fit. These are the ones that really I need to go through and organize and see what fits, what doesn't, what's the right size, that sort of thing, as well as what she actually wears. She's getting to the age where she wants to kind of have more of a say in what she wears. So I know there's some things in here that she doesn't like, and I'm tempted to get rid of them, but the other side of me is kind of, you know, do I hold on to it because I have another daughter and she might be willing to wear it? But I think what I'm going to do is the items that I don't ever reach for either and she doesn't reach for, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of those. And there are a couple of those, like I can see right off the bat, this is one of them. And then I want to say this right here, button ups. I don't ever reach for those for them, and she doesn't ever wear them either. So I'll go ahead and go through this really quick. And then our next step are the dressers. That is going to be probably other than going through the bins, that's another big challenge because there's 2 dressers. I have one for each girl, and we're going to go through each drawer at a time and pull out things that either they don't wear or are too small. So we are definitely on our way.
My second goal for myself is to organize. And as you can see, I'm going through and I'm organizing. I'm trying to put all fall and winter clothing together and all spring and summer clothes together, as well as weeding out and pulling out things that no longer either are the right size or things that we like, things that neither of us reach for, whether it's me or my daughter, and just organizing the clothes into piles that I know are keep and get rid of.
I got Caroline's clothes all organized right here, and she has a couple of dress-up clothes that are fun. Her summery spring clothes are here. She does have a couple of long sleeve, but that's mainly because I like to keep a couple of things out for like the cooler spring days. And then some dresses, and then all of these are her winter and fall clothes. I don't think I realized we had so many hangers. We actually need some in my closet, so I'm going to take some of these and put them in my closet. So we aren't going to get rid of those because also she will be going to this size hanger not too long from now. Because she's the youngest, she ends up having more clothes usually, because sometimes we end up buying her some new outfits, even though most of these were Caroline's. So a lot of times she'll end up with a little bit more clothes, but to be honest, this feels more manageable to me, having about this amount of clothes, because not all of hers are up here. She still has a good bit in like the wash and that just need to be folded. And this feels a lot more manageable to me. It doesn't feel as overwhelming as all of this right here. And so this is kind of more of my goal. I am thankful that she has all of these cute clothes, and I'm definitely not going to get rid of them, but I wouldn't say that this is our usual or the amount of clothes that we normally like to keep. But because we already have them, I'm going to keep them and utilize them. And once she sizes out of them, this is kind of going to be probably more or less what we stick to. Next up is tackling the dresser.
One of my favorite times to go through all of their clothes, whether it's their dresser, closet, do one of these big reorganize, clean out days, is when it's time to do their laundry. So when I know that I'm currently doing all of their laundry, I'm able to come in here, go through all of their drawers and their closet, and I can actually see what was getting used, what wasn't. And mainly what's currently still in here are the items that we very rarely use, if at all, or it's just out of season, one of those things. And so it's able to give me a lot of good information on, do I want to keep it? Do I want to get rid of it? Are we actually wearing it?
These are all the shirts from Lucy's shirt drawer, which looks like a lot, but you have to keep in mind that this is for year round. All of these are fall and winter shirts, and all of these are spring and summer shirts. And a lot of them are play shirts mixed with like cutesy shirts that we would throw with jeans just for everyday use. A lot of our church or say like our school clothes are hung up, versus these are ones that they can just grab any day. This is what I plan to get rid of, and I think I'm going to go back through and try to weed out a few more that we just aren't wearing and I never choose.
I definitely had high hopes on this day to get through all of my girls' clothes and then go into my boys' closet and work on their room as well. I obviously did not make it to that. So for today, we were able to get the girls' clothes done, and I can save the boys' clothes for a different day. But I will say they're getting to the age where they kind of they've gotten better about managing their own clothes on their own. And I want to encourage that independence. And so with that, I've told them anything that feels too small or that you don't like or anything like that, go ahead and set them aside so that we can make sure that we don't continue to put them back in our drawer.
Okay, so I think I finished Lucy's pants/shorts drawer. This is all that we are getting rid of. I love these. I think they're really cute, but I can't get my girls to wear them. Every time I have them wear them, it's just this huge fight that's not really worth it. I may keep one of these just for like 4th of July. That would be really cute. And I can sometimes get them to wear them, but again, not worth it. So I think I'm just going to get rid of most of those. They don't like the way this feels between their legs, like it's too much ruffle. And to be honest, I can't really blame them too much for that. So all of these are going. These are jeans that just don't fit in the drawer very well. So I think I might do a separate jean drawer over in their bunk beds. They have like little drawers they can put. I think I'm gonna put those in there. And then these are all the shorts/leggings that I'm gonna put back in the drawer. And then these I will put in the same drawer as well, but they're actually shorts. They're just like little shorts that we put on underneath. They're like biker shorts that we put on underneath dresses, just so they can roughhouse and have fun in dresses and not have to worry about it. And I didn't realize I had stuck all of my daughters in Lucy's drawer, my older daughter and my younger daughter's drawer. And so I separated those two, and I'm going to put, so this is the only thing going back down in this drawer right here. I was looking for that. That goes with an outfit. So I'm going to put that back with the shirt that we are currently getting rid of. this drawer up here are pull-ups and extra underwear that she's not in the size 4 yet. And then down here, this last drawer, she has a toy bug right here. Oh goodness. This drawer right here are current undergarments and bathing suits and dance clothes and pajamas. And I know everything in here fits because I recently went through it. So I'm going to go ahead and close this back up. And then over here, we are about to get started on my eldest daughter's drawers, which won't be quite as hard because I recently, I think, went through these for the most part too. So we'll get started on it just to make sure everything is, you know, right for this drawer as well. And then I think we'll pretty much be done. Yay!
To me, these big declutter, reorganize, closet clean out days are kind of like running. I don't want to do it. I dread it up until actually doing it. And then while I'm doing it, it's very satisfying. I enjoy it. And then afterwards, you feel so good about your outcome and that you've actually accomplished it and gotten it done. So that's kind of what I'm comparing it to, is exercising. That once you finally do it, it makes you feel so much better about finally accomplishing that task.
Like I said, so much easier to manage. So I just finished going through hers, and a lot of her clothes are actually in the wash slash currently need to be folded stage, but that just means that those are all the ones that are being used. And we usually do laundry about maybe every 2 weeks or so for the girls, maybe a little less than that depending on their needs, or if there's something that needs to be washed, I'll go ahead and do all of it at one time, so I'm not just doing one item. But this technically fits, but I don't reach for it anymore because if you can tell, I don't know if you can kind of see it, but there is like a pink tint to the entire shirt. And that is because somehow a red shirt ended up in my white laundry at the time. So with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of it. Although I really wish it hadn't happened because we like having that for underneath like sweaters and stuff. I'll just have to get a new one next year. But this is long sleeve, so she won't need it this year anyway. So we're going to get rid of that one. These are ones that currently still fit, and I'm just going to put them all back in her shirt drawer, which is this second one right here. And then these are too small. These are size 10, and she's currently in a size 12. So I'm going to put these in the bin for the size 10s for Lucy when she gets older and grows into them. I'm going to save them for her. And this right here is a size 8. Somehow I missed it, but ultimately we're doing pretty good. The shorts drawer is completely finished, and the shirt drawer I am now going to add these into. And then again, once her clothes are finished being folded and washed, then they will get added into there as well. Same thing with pajama drawer. Those are Christmas, so obviously they didn't get used. And then down here is her like miscellaneous drawer, so it's kind of messy because she got into it. But I recently went through it as well, and those are her bathing suits and socks, that sort of thing. And those are all good. So ultimately, I think she is all set now. Okay, we are finished, and this is what I have so far. This is the size 10. These are size 7 and 8. These are the bags that I'm getting rid of. That one is full of clothes. This one's full of hangers. And then here is the closet. I need to straighten up a little bit down here more, but ultimately we were able to reorganize, and definitely looks a lot better than it did. So my plan, I think, is to maybe stack these clothes. You can definitely tell that my daughter skipped a size because these are all the size 10, and she went pretty much straight from 7, 8 to size 10. And so there's not a whole lot. So whenever my youngest daughter gets to this size, we're definitely going to have to build it up some. But we're going to, I think, put all of this in a pile at the top of the closet up here. And then the size 7 and 8, I may take half of that and put it in here. That way I can stack these 2 bins right there in that corner and save them for later. And then these clothes right here, I will show you what I'm going to do with those. With our clothes that, like this bag right here, that you can kind of see right there, the items that we plan to get rid of, there's a few different options in our area that you can do with those clothing items. One of them, which is the one I plan to do, which is to sell them to a consignment store for children's clothing, and it's called Once Upon a Child, and it's so simple. It's just my easy go-to that I'm able to get the money for selling them. They will give you money right there. You'll drop a bin off, they'll go through it, you come back, pick it up, and they'll let you know whatever they're choosing to purchase, and they'll give back whatever they choose not to. And they give you money right there. The other thing with that is, because I also buy clothes there, you can get 6% off your next purchase. And when you sell them items and purchase items there, either or, you actually earn points that build up. And then those points you can use to get like bonuses of $5 off of $30, or even more, like I think it was $10 off of $30 if you let the points build up even further. So it's really nice because you can then use that money that you're selling your clothes for to then purchase clothes for even cheaper. Say you need to build up a wardrobe, like my daughter's, I need to build it up a little bit. Again, I like that it's manageable right now. So I just want to get a couple more staple items that will allow her to do extra things easier, like her gymnastics and stuff like that. But for us, the other two options in our area would be a consignment sale like Switcheroos. It's a huge consignment sale that they have in the upstate. And I love purchasing items there, but I don't care to sell items there, mainly because it's a personal preference. It takes a lot more time and effort to label all of your clothes, safety to pin them on hangers, print off labels, say exactly the name, brand, size, and description if you need to, and then put those labels on the items. It just takes a lot more time and effort. And for me, we don't have a printer here at our house. So for me to do something like that, we would have to purchase a printer or go print them off at some other place like Office Depot or whatever it may be. And obviously, I don't want to go through all of that just to sell items. So for right now, we haven't needed a printer yet. None of our kids have needed one. Once we get to the point where they're in their schooling and we felt like they need one, that will be totally different. We'll go get one, but I don't want to put money into selling clothes by having to purchase a printer just to do that. So for me, it isn't worth trying to sell my clothes at Switcheroos. It's also not worth my time, even though you probably would make more money doing it that way. I prefer Once Upon a Child because I can take the time just to organize the bin. I like to do one bin at a time, so I try to do like one bin a week. This bag right here is about 1.5 bins worth. I'll probably make it into 2 bins. And I like to take one bin at a time because otherwise, if you take a lot in all at one time, which is so easy for us to do because it saves us time, it overwhelms them and they don't end up buying as much as if you were to just take one bin in. And if you do one bin at a time, you can take the time to organize the clothes, match the outfits, lay them nice and neat, because they don't purchase things from you that are stained, wrinkly, mismatched, whatever it may be. They like things that are organized and put nice and neat together. So I take the time to do that so that I can sell more items. The third option, which again goes back to what's more important for you, is Facebook Marketplace. You can sell items on Facebook Marketplace and get a lot more money for each item. For me, it's not worth my time. To sell on Facebook Marketplace, you have to meet up with the person or share your address with them. And I think the biggest thing for me, that wasn't even so much the problem. It was more so the people would say that they want to purchase something and then never follow through with it. And then you have to follow up with them. And then if they don't want it, you have to go put it back on. It's more of a hassle to me and more of a time waster for me than it was to make it worth it. So for me, I do want to sell my items, but I think my time was more important than actually getting another dollar or two per item. So I like to sell mine at Once Upon a Child, call it a day, and whatever they don't buy, I take on to Goodwill or I donate to somebody else that may need it. And so that is just a preference of mine. Now, obviously, it could be way more important to you to get more money per item, and that's where you just have to think about what's best for you. I just want to take the time to say thank you so much for joining me here today at Autumn Leigh at Home. I just hope that this was encouraging for you guys and that you were able to use it to understand that you are not alone. We all have, just a clothing overload sometimes, especially if you have kids in the house, and it feels so good to reorganize, declutter, get rid of stuff, and all of the above. So the 3 goals that we had were sort, organize, and get rid of, and we were able to accomplish all of those. So I just want to say a big thank you for joining me here. Please like, subscribe, and share down below. And I'm going to put a playlist right here. That way, if you want to follow along with a declutter playlist, you're welcome to watch that until my next upload. I usually upload every Friday at 5 o'clock, but I hope to see you guys next time.
Hello.